Hey, Lynn Erickson here with another Purveyor of Light quick tip. Today we're answering a common question I get all the time is, how do I improve my photographs? How do I increase the chances of, being more successful in getting a great image? And my answer to everyone there is simple. The number one thing you can do to improve your photography, besides getting out and shoot, is actually planning. Okay? I find planning to be almost as important as taking and going to do the photograph itself. Because if you're prepared ahead of time, you're able to, when you get there, you're going to know what to expect, and you're going to be able to control the situation as best as you can. So let me go ahead and run you through my process of what I do on generally anytime I'm going to go shoot a new location, and I'll take you through the steps. So the first thing I do is I'm still one of the original Flickr users. I know Flickr has gone down in popularity over the years, but I still use Flickr as a very important survey tool, especially when I want to go to locations that I haven't been to before and I want to learn about them and what there is to photograph and stuff. So I'm going to take you through an example here. So we're on Flickr right here, and I'm going up to the search box here, and I'm just going to go ahead and type in a search. Let's say I'm going to plan to go to Arches National Park in Utah. And I know there's a lot of great things to photograph there. So let's go ahead and type in, I know there's a delicate arch, I think it's called. So let me go ahead and type in delicate arch. And we'll see what Flickr comes up with here. And of course, they're having some kind of technical difficulty. Here we go. Okay, so here I've got a whole bunch of photos here of delicate arch. I can determine whether I'm interested in capturing this and maybe give me some ideas, some vantage points that I like. And I kind of like that one there. Look at that, the delicate arch through the Milky Way in the background. And as you can see, it's a very, very popular subject. And again, of course, I've already been to delicate arch before, shot the park many times, but this is for illustration purposes. So if you were planning, you weren't going to go. Okay, so I can turn around and take a quick look and say, okay, I got an idea here, and I go, this is nice, I like this. Milky Way over the delicate arch. All right, so now I've got some ideas in my head, and I go, okay, so what's my next step for planning? I go, well, I'd like to know, what is the terrain and what is it like to be around here? Is this a tremendous hike? Is this some bad territory? Is this going to be difficult to get to? Things like that. For that thing, I go up to Google Earth, and I can go into Google Earth and I can get a nice top-down. I mean, if you haven't used Google Earth for such a purpose, you'd be surprised on how handy it is. So again, I'm going to go ahead and type delicate arch. And you can see that it already came up just for me, delicate arch in Utah. And here we are. We're going to go ahead and zoom right in. And it puts me flat slab looking at delicate arch. And I could see right here from a top down, I could see the terrain, what's it's going to be involved. They give me a quick picture here in the upper right. And I'm now right over delicate arch. And I can see that I'm literally over the delicate arch. And I can look at that and I say, okay, it's a bowl area, and there's the arch. I can come right in and go right down on top of the arch, and I can see, okay, look at that, it's right on a dished out bowl area. Okay, so the terrain, I can get an idea of the terrain. I can also, more importantly, get a viewpoint. And you notice the blue dots here. These are signifying areas where different vantage points that I can look at. But from here, looking at the thing, I can say, well, where would I like to take my shot from, and what does it look like from here? So if I come here and I click, there's a shot that someone took from that vantage point. Okay, and I go, that's pretty interesting. What would my vantage point be over here? And I go, oh, hey, that's nice. And I can come out and say, well, what's my vantage point if I shot down in the bowl area here? Okay, that's a unique composition, different. And I can come up and say, well, what if I'm up here on a ridge? How's that look? And I go, oh, that's a pretty particular postcard type of thing. Not bad. So anyhow, this is what gives me an idea of what exactly is involved. And again, the terrain around this, okay? So I get a good idea on how things are, and I can start planning my shots, what I anticipate and what I want to do. And so that takes care of my scouting. So we've used Flickr to get some ideas of different shots of what it looks like in the area. We've used Google Earth to get an idea of the terrain, get an idea of where I want to be, what kind of shot I want to get. And now the next step is to go to another tool, and this is called the Photographers Ephemeris. This is available for iPhone as well as the computer, okay? And I would normally be using this on my iPhone. It's a fantastic app for plotting, planning. Tells you absolutely everything that you want to know about a location on a specific date, when the sun is coming up, when the sun is going down, when the moon is rising, when the moon is setting, twilight hours. It's really, really a fantastic tool, and I can't recommend it enough. So let's go ahead and take the place here. And again, I'm going to type in, well, I gotta go, let's call it Delicate Arch. We'll see what we get here, and we'll do a quick search. And there it is. It found it already, Delicate Arch. Put a pinpoint, and you may notice these lines that pop up on here. They're color-coded. Basically, what this is saying is Delicate Arch is right here on the red pin area, and the light yellow is where the sun is going to rise, and the orange in the back is when the sun is going to set. The gray area is where the moon is going to rise, and where the darker gray area is where the moon is going to set. So this is a great thing. You'll notice here I have another line here. This is currently telling me at this particular time on Friday the 22nd, right now, at this time at 15:30, which happens to be the time there right now, the sun is in this location here on the arch. So I can now not only know where I'm going to take the picture from, okay, I can also plan. Maybe I want to shoot the arch with the moon right through the archway, or maybe I want to shoot the arch with the sunrise. Okay, that's all possible to do by simply putting the position where I'm going to shoot from, and I move the pin there, and then I just simply move the time of day, and you'll notice that I'm moving the sun during the time, and I can determine there, right here, at 10:16, the sun is going to be directly through the arch at that vantage point. And I can move my vantage point to do this and see where the time is, and it's right through the arch. Okay, so now I can stand in this location knowing that at 11:24, the sun will be directly through the arch area, and it's going to be at a particular elevation of approximately plus 38 degrees right now of elevation. Okay, so I could take this information and plan my shots. So you can see the absolutely fantastic planning, and I can do this for any given date. Okay, I don't have to do it for just one date. I could say, what's the sun going to do on the 28th? And you see it replots, and I can check to where the sun and the moon is going to be. Now, if I move through time, let's say I don't want to get the sun through it, but I want to get the moon by the arch. So again, I move through time, and you'll start to see the moon rise and the moon set. So I'm looking for an area here where the moon rise. Here's the moon rise. The moon starts to rise here, and then the moon is moving around. The earth is rotating, and right about there, I'm going to have the moon by the arch, and it's going to have an elevation of -4, so it's still going to be a little low there. Yeah, 25 like that. That's going to be perfect. That might be good enough to turn around and actually shoot the moon right through the arch. Again, making my photograph very interesting. Okay, so now we've turned around and we've picked a position where we want to shoot from. We picked a time of day that we want to capture, because whether we want to capture a sunrise or a sunset or the moonrise. So now we have all this information at our fingertips. The next part of the puzzle, okay, is clouds. Okay, how many times have we looked at a photograph? I'm going to go back to Flickr. And how many times have we taken a picture and the sky looks like this? Okay? Your typical tourist that comes to Arches walks home with a picture like this. Okay? Now, hey, that's the time of day they went. You could tell it's practically around noon. It's harsh lighting, harsh shadows, a very boring sky. It looks like a snapshot. So the missing piece now, wouldn't it be great if we were capturing this arch with an interesting sky, with cloud cover, with things, or maybe we got a beautiful sunrise with all those colors of red and orange and magenta, or a sunset with those colors. So what are we missing? The information we're missing is the cloud cover. Okay? Cloud cover is what makes or breaks the color and the information that we can get now right off our iPhone is incredible. So I'm going to go to my iPhone here, and I'm going to go into my little top secret apps, and the app you're going to want to use is called Clear Outside. Okay? This is one of the secret photography tools of the pros. Okay? You can come in here, and the way it works is you have the total cloud cover of a particular date, whether it's going to be low clouds, mid clouds, or high clouds. This is one of the most unique part of this tool, is it can tell you whether you're going to have high clouds, low clouds, so forth, and what the visibility of each is going to be. Okay, so first thing, we'll go to a location. And I've already saved Moab in here, so I'm just going to go to Moab. Save me from typing it. And it's churning, okay? And now it's giving me a look. And the cloud cover is telling me there's going to be 0 low clouds. There's going to be some mid clouds, but there's going to be a tremendous amount of high clouds. Now, what does this mean? This is interpreting here now for photographic instrument, right? The ability to, is this going to have clouds? Is this going to make this shot we're looking at right now on Flickr more interesting if we take it under these conditions? With 89% of cloud cover on high, this sky would be filled with beautiful puffy white clouds. Okay? But now I'm going to show you another interesting thing here, is we can take the sun and the time, okay, and we can move it. If you look right here to where it turns orange on the band, okay, on the sunlight area, you see that orange? That's signifying a sunrise, okay, or a sunset, okay. Here's the sunset for a day on the 18th, 1800. There's the orange area, and then it goes into the blue, and then finally into purple. These are signifying the stages of twilight, okay. When the sun is going down, we're going into the twilight areas. So now I can read the numbers and look at the clouds at that particular time. So we're going to take the 18 as our reference of the beginning, 18 to 19. We're going to look at those numbers, and we're going to see we're going to have high clouds, 59. So we're going to have some clouds in the sky, but they're going to be high up, and that's going to mean we have a high probability of getting color in the sky. Meaning we can get those magentas and those violets and the blues and the reds, the oranges, okay? And we can have those beautiful sunsets. Now, if we had low clouds, if we scroll down and we look through here, we can see that the cloud cover in Moab right now is very, very clear, okay? If you came in here and saw that low clouds were a high number, then you know that it's a waste of time, that you're socked in low and the visibility is poor, and you're not going to have any color or any interest in your photos, because low cloud cover means no good photographs. So again, using this tool, okay, I can now plan this. Now there's one cat cave with this particular application, and that is it only will go 5 days out. Okay, and that's understandable because, you know, as much as we want to be able to predict the weather, we cannot, we can't predict that far in the future where the clouds are, how fast the weather moves, and so forth. But again, now I can turn around and use these tools, and using Flickr to get some ideas, using Google Earth to learn the topography around the area, vantage points where I want to get a composition. Then finally we use the Photographers Ephemeris, and we know when the sun, where the sun is rising, where the sun is setting. We know exactly where everything is and what time it's going to happen. And then with our final tool, we know the cloud cover, okay, of whether we have high clouds or low clouds, all available to us. So then when we get to our location, we know where we're going to go. We know where we're going to set up. We know where we're going to, what time we have to be there. And we also know, because of the cloud tools, we know whether we're going to have a high success rate of getting a highly interesting photograph. And you put all this together, and you're going to walk home with more winners. It's just that simple. That's what the key is to getting good photographs, okay? When you look at photographs like this, and you see Royce Blair here, a very famous photographer for night photography. He's a master at night photography. He can put up some magnificent Milky Way shots like we're looking here. And you can also look at the creativeness that was done here in this particular shot. He knew what day to go. He knew what time to go. He knew exactly the position of where the Milky Way was coming. And as you could tell here, he put some artificial light in to light up the arch. Okay. And made a very interesting composition. Beautiful piece of work. Okay. So there you are. That's how I get more interesting shots. That's how I get a higher keep ratio is because I will sit and I will plan my shots. And so hopefully this information helps you. And hopefully I didn't bore too many people here, but when you love photography, these are the kind of things that you do, because we want to have those interesting photos. We want to have those photos with color, detail, and difference. So again, these are the tools that I use. Okay, so hopefully you'll find that useful, and I'll talk to you next week. You guys take care.